will be the NFL MVP this coming season? That is the question everybody wants to know. What is going on, y'all? 5 Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe by hitting the big red subscribe button down below and turning on my post notifications by clicking the bell icon down below, because I do post daily videos, daily uploads on this channel. You don't want to miss out. NFL season about to start very soon, so you know what that means. Ton of NFL content on the channel. And also, while you're at it, since you're already doing something, go ahead and also follow me on my social media. Links down below for my Twitter and my Instagram. And on the screen as well. That's where you guys can interact with me, talk, ask questions, whatever it is. I love interacting with you guys. As you can see, we've got a whiteboard video behind me, and we're talking NFL MVP. I want to break down every single possible candidate for the award, and finally at the end give you guys who I believe is going to win the MVP award and is going to be my NFL MVP this coming season. So back by popular demand, the whiteboard, as I mentioned, and I've listed out all of the MVP favorites according to Bovada, so Vegas, what they have said are the favorites, okay? So these are the favorites for the MVP award. I'm going to try to get out of the way so you guys can see all of them. And this is actually not the entire list. Actually, there's more, but I went up till about 30, okay? After that, it was just like, okay, you know what? I can't fit any more on the board, and I don't think those players are going to win the award, okay? Or they have a very, very slim chance, okay? And you guys might also see that numerically, some guys have the same number, and that is because those guys have the same odds, okay? So, like, for example, Drew Brees and Carson Wentz have the same odds to an MVP. Phillip Rivers, Deshaun Watson, Trubisky, Dak, McCaffrey, Zeke, Lamar Jackson, Le'Veon, Saquon, Khalil Mack, Gurley, etc. You get my point, and that's why if you see the same numbers, those guys have the same odds to win MVP. That is what that means. So with that being said, let's take a look at the list now. And you see a lot of quarterbacks. Actually, the first, what is that? The first like 15 or so are all quarterbacks. And you don't even get to a non-quarterback until Aaron Donald here at 17, I believe. So, yes. Double checking. Yes, Aaron Donald is the first non-quarterback here. So, here's what I'm going to do. There's a lot of names. Let's start eliminating. We're going to do process of elimination. I'm going to eliminate guys. And how are we going to eliminate guys? Well, here's the thing. This is the NFL MVP award, but they should really just call it the NFL, most valuable quarterback award, because it always goes to quarterback. Very few guys that are not quarterbacks win this award. AP is the last one I can remember, I believe, that won the award, and he had to have a monstrous season to do it. So unless you literally change history and the record books, if you're not a quarterback, that's the only way you win the award. So I'm just gonna, for the betterment of me getting the right player correctly, okay, the better odds, I'm just gonna take away all the non-quarterbacks, okay? So as much as I like Aaron Donald, take him out. Alvin Kamara, take him out. Christian McCaffrey, Zeke, Le'Veon, Khalil Mack, Saquon, Gurley. I believe that's Kyler Murray, actually. Nick Foles. I think that's David Johnson. Take him out. OBJ, Michael Thomas, Julio Jones, Joey Bosa, J.J. Watt, A.B. Juju, Hale, and Staff. Okay? So, now that we have got eliminated all of the non-quarterback positions, now let's take a look at the remaining quarterbacks. Okay? And again, like I said, is it possible that a non-quarterback wins this award? Yes, but they need to literally have a historical season. Okay? I'm not saying it can't happen. It's just insanely hard. Okay? So now, let's take a look at, the upper tier here, who's got the best odds, if you will. And right off the bat, I'm actually going to eliminate Patrick Mahomes. Now, Chief fans, relax. Don't get your pitchforks out right now. The only reason I'm saying that is because the other trend with the NFL MVP award is that guys don't tend to win it back-to-back. We haven't had a back-to-back winner since Peyton Manning, I believe, in 08 and 09. And so it doesn't happen much. And for Patrick Mahomes specifically, this dude threw 50 touchdowns. So for him to win MVP again, he is going to have to top that. I'm just going to go on and limb and say Patrick Mahomes, I believe, is human, and I don't believe he does that again. Even Peyton Manning, when he won the award, it threw 55 touchdowns. He didn't top that the next year. So to me, I just think the bar is insanely hard for Patrick Mahomes, more insanely harder, if that's a word, than all of the other guys. So that's why I'm taking him out of the list. It's not because I don't believe he's talented enough to win it. Of course, he's the reigning MVP, okay? So that's why I'm going to take out Patrick Mahomes. And then real quick, just going back to the board over here, as much as I believe these guys have potential, I mean, Lamar Jackson, at this point, if he should be working on throwing accurate passes more so than worrying about winning the NFL MVP award. So I'm going to take him out. I think it's a pretty good bet that he doesn't win it. Sam Darnold, I like him, but you know what? Second year, it's going to be insanely hard. Le'Veon Bell there, he's going to get a lot of carries. Take him out, and Josh Allen, the Bills are going to be awful. Nick Foles, dark horse, a very, 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 far dark horse MVP candidate. Like if the Jaguars do something, it's going to be because of Nick Foles. So maybe I can leave him in, but it's very unlikely. And Kyler Murray, rookie year MVP, nope, not happening. Dak Prescott, possibly. I could see it. Maybe if, Zeke holds out and the ball, there's a lot on Dak's plate and he's got to carry the weight. Maybe. But for the most part, do you really think these guys will win it? I don't. So I'm going to say no to Dak and no to Nick Foles. And now we're down to 15 guys, and let's break down the last 15 remaining guys. So with the remaining quarterbacks on the board, how am I going to basically eliminate some guys on here? And the way to do it is, of course, add more qualifiers, add more criteria. I already mentioned the NFL MVP award is a quarterback award. So that was one qualifier, right? And we got rid of the non-quarterbacks. The other qualifier is you have to have insane statistical production, but more so, your team has to be very, very good. And that is the key here, because to me, I can eliminate guys here just based off the fact that how I believe their teams are going to do. Because if you don't have a good record, I'm talking first or second seed, you're not going to win the award. You're just not. So you need that type of record. Your team needs to be very, very good. I believe a good example of this is a few years back when Matt Ryan won the MVP award, and he had, I think, 38 touchdowns, and Aaron Rodgers had more touchdowns than him. He had 40 touchdowns, but Matt Ryan still won the award because the Falcons had a better season than the Packers, okay? So to me, the team record matters a lot. So looking at this list, which teams are not good enough or not going to be 1, 2, or possibly third best in their conference, not just their division, in the conference, folks. And I'm going to take a guess and say the Panthers will not be that good, so bye-bye Cam Newton. I like the 49ers. I don't like them that much. Jimmy Garoppolo, bye-bye. Big Ben Roethlisberger. A lot of people are saying, the Browns are overhyped, so bet on the Steelers this time to win the division. Yeah, maybe they win the division, but no Le'Veon Bell, no Antonio Brown. I'm sorry. I don't think the Steelers will be that good. So I'm going to take Big Ben Roethlisberger out. I'm going to take Matt Ryan out. I don't believe the Falcons are going to be a top 2 or 3 team in the NFC. And Russell Wilson. I like Russell Wilson. I don't believe the Seahawks are going to be a top 2 or 3 team in the NFC. But you know what? Let me keep him in there just because he's insanely talented for a second. And we'll get to, other qualifiers real quick. Mitch Trubisky, the Bears are finished, I believe, 12-4 last year. They were one of the top 3 teams in the NFC, so he deserves to stay. Deshaun Watson, the Texans, I don't believe they will be a top contender in the AFC. I see the Chargers being better, the Patriots being better. So to me, I'm going to have to take Deshaun Watson out. And now we're left with Phillip Rivers. I think you got to keep him on there. Brady, you got to keep on there, of course. Carson Wentz, the Eagles, a lot of people are high on him. I'm going to leave Carson Wentz on there. Drew Brees, same thing. Saints are one of the better teams. Baker Mayfield, you got to leave Baker on here just because of the hype, okay? And I'll get to it in a second. Aaron Rodgers, of course, and Andrew Luck as well have a chance to be very good. And, of course, I left Jared Goff because the Rams are going to be very good. Okay, so now we're down to a similar or a less condensed version of the list. And now let's break down between these guys who will win the MVP. Okay, now how can we break it down even more? And now I'm going to bring one more qualifier into this. I've got one more after that. But the first one, statistical production. You got to put up big numbers. Patrick Mahomes threw for 50 touchdowns. So you got to be able to throw, I would say, anywhere from 35 at least to, upwards of 50 touchdowns, right? But 50 is a little high. But 35 to 45, you got to be in between that. And to me, I love Mitch Trubisky. Bears are my favorite team, but I don't believe he's got 35 plus touchdowns in him this coming season, maybe later down in his career, but I don't know about this season. Jared Goff, he had 32 touchdowns last year, so I think he is capable of that. Russell Wilson, he's capable of that. Rivers is capable. Brady, Wentz is capable. Breeze, Baker, Rodgers, Luck. I don't know if Baker's ready for that. Threw 27 touchdowns last season. He could do it, but you know what? I still don't believe the Browns are going to be a top 2 to 3 team in the conference, like I mentioned. I don't believe they're going to be that good in the AFC. They could be, but the expectations for Baker are insane right now. So to me, I love Baker. I have a huge amount of investment in him in terms of becoming a good quarterback. I really do believe in Baker, but I'm going to have to take him out of this list just because of those two reasons. The fact that he's got to put up insane numbers and the fact that his team's got to be one of the top 3 teams in the conference. So now we're down to Luck, Rodgers, Breeze, Wentz, Brady, Rivers, and Wilson. And this is my last qualifier to break down these guys. Let's take a look at the schedule and see what's possible in terms of the record. And right off the bat, Andrew Luck, to me, had a phenomenal season last year. I believe he threw like 39 touchdowns, but he's got the 7th toughest schedule, so it's not going to be easy for the Colts. So just based off of that, other guys have easier schedules. Andrew Luck could regress from 39 touchdowns. I'm going to take him out of the list. And after that, you take a look at Aaron Rodgers, tied for 14th best, toughest schedule in the NFL. Drew Brees has the 22nd toughest, so that's not that hard at all. Carson Wentz, he's got the 26th toughest schedule, so that's also not that hard. Brady has got one of the easiest schedules, actually. So Brady should still be in there. Phillip Rivers got the 16th toughest schedule. And finally, Russell Wilson has the 25th toughest schedule. So these are easy for most of these guys remaining. So here's where I'm at. It's hard for me to eliminate guys any more than I've done. I mean, we're down to literally the elite quarterbacks in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Carson Wentz, Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers, and Russell Wilson. So it's very hard. So I need to literally just pick at this point. And for me, here's what it's coming down to. And these are going to seem like they're petty, but listen, I got to find a way to get to the main guy, right? So to me, you guys might think I'm being a little too detailed, a little too much of a stickler, but I got to go with it. I believe Brady, with recency bias, winning in 2017. I don't believe voters are going to, look favorably to Tom Brady unless he's had a monster year, and no Gronk this year. So we don't know about that. So let's take Tom Brady out of there. And then Russell Wilson, if this could eliminate. Russell Wilson, I don't believe the Seahawks will have a top 2-3 record in the NFC list. So let's take him out. So now we're down to 4 guys: Rodgers, Brees, Wentz, and Rivers. I'm not as high on the Eagles as a lot of people, so I don't believe they're a top 2-3 team in the conference. And same with the Packers. I don't believe the Packers are going to be that good. I believe the Saints are better. I believe the Rams are better in the NFC. So let's take out Aaron Rodgers. And now we are down to 3 guys in Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, and Jared Goff. And to me, these are going to be the top 3 candidates for MVP. But to me, I'm going to go with Drew Brees, okay? And it was very close, as you guys can tell, a very, very, very close race. But the reason I'm going with Drew Brees is because of the fact that Drew Brees' Saints are, to me, could be the number 1 team in the NFC. So he's got that. You know he's going to give you a statistical production. Very possibly throws for 5,000 yards. And a little added bonus, he's got a chance, or not a chance, he will surpass Peyton Manning's all-time touchdown records in his career. But he's got Tom Brady on his back. I believe he's like 3 or 4 touchdowns behind him. So he's going to keep trying to go and go for it. And so I do believe Drew Brees is going to have the perfect combination of numbers and team record. And the fact that he hasn't won MVP in a while will play into a part of it. With Phillip Rivers, he would be my next favorite to win MVP. Just because the Chargers are loaded, and if they win a #1 seed in the AFC, then he's got a very good shot here. But no Melvin Gordon possibly. That could be a good thing or a bad thing for Phillip Rivers. That's why with the uncertainty, I'm going to go with Drew Brees. And I like Jared Goff. I just feel like his time will come. And I just don't believe he's ready right now for it. But again, certainly the Rams are going to be one of the toughest and best teams in the NFC. So there you have it. Drew Brees is my 2019-20 NFL MVP. Those are my reasons. Let me know if you guys agree or not. Did I not pick your MVP? Is he on this list? Who is he? Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Leave a comment down below. As always, thanks for watching.